Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Bracha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect men, women, and children that are listening and learning, staying in the Holy Spirit, and keeping the faith of Yahweh Shai day in and day out. So, I just want to touch on this topic real quick through the Spirit. The brother Aharon, of my camp, Lightbringer 144K, posted this video yesterday entitled "The Land of Moab and Coming to a City Near You." She can't buy food without ... and alert emoji, which by now you should know what that is being spoken of. All right. It's not the actual MOTB. However, it is ushering in that system. Okay, and then over there in the land of Moab, which is the so-called Chinese, they are full-fledged integrated into a digital surveillance, digital ID surveillance system, right? They got the social credit score, all these things that the powers that be, the elites, right? The all-seeing eye that's on top of the pyramid, right? That their agenda they have used and experimented rather with Moab, pushing out that technology, right? And through the Spirit, it was interesting. I was reading in the book of Amos, which we'll get about the judgment that is coming to Moab, right? Because we often in firstly speak about the recompense and the vengeance that the Lord is going to put upon Esau, Edom, right? Which is definitely going to happen, and they're not going to receive, no mercy at all, right? As it says in the book of, not in the book, but as it says in the Bible dictionary, right? The Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, that Edom is the only neighbor of Israel that did not receive any mercy from the Lord, in prophetic judgment, right? In the future judgment. But these other nations also are going to receive punishment for their atrocities, their evil doings against our people, and their wickedness that they also are partaking in, as joining hand in hand with Esau, Edom. Okay, because this system that they're pushing is, as Klaus Schwab said, which we'll get that as well, is being used as a model, right? Is you being used as a model, or like a pilot program on a grand scale, on a countrywide scale, to see how the technology could work, so that when the time does come for these elites to push this NWO globally, they will already have a big enough sample size, because we know China, if I'm not mistaken, has the largest population of people in the world. So they use that country as a sample, right, to see how mass surveillance and digital identification and tracking system and social credit score system, how that could, and would operate. Okay, so let's listen to this video, where she just posted a video of it, and then we'll get another video.
So the latest in this dystopian outrage that is now all of China, apparently, is I once again cannot buy food. A couple days ago, my uncle and my cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything. But now, apparently, it has been flagged for some reason, and I have to pass facial recognition identity verification, which is insane, because all I want to do is just spend my gift card balance on this debit card.
And that, technology and that ideology is being pushed right now, even in America, right? Now, even on YouTube, you can't post. Well, I know for me personally, I can't repost videos. I can post, screenshots and things like that. And I can't even go live for a certain amount of times before they say that I have to actually verify my identity, with a governmental ID. Okay, when you go to the airports, right? They don't even really check. Some airports still do, but really they don't even check your passport anymore. They just have you look into a camera, and using biometrics, they're able to verify you. You see? So they're already pushing that on this in this country, right? Which this country is supposed to be the land of the free, right? But they show you in plenty of movies, like, one that comes to mind, Minority Report, what they have in store, in the now. Can't even say in the future, but it's happening now. It's happening in real time. But over there in China, it's already accelerated because they're, once again, as Klaus Schwab said, they're the model. Okay, let's continue.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to open my mouth. Oh my God. Terrifying. Wow. And of course, because it was my cousin who set this up for me, I did not pass verification. I guess it's a good thing that the Chinese app is not racist. But now I once again can't buy any.
Okay, so as you see right there, she couldn't buy anything because her digital ID wasn't set up. Okay, so let's go out of that. So okay, come on. So you see that, and then where's the other? I just type in right here. So this came out last year, what Klaus Schwab said about China and what they're doing.
And it seems quite positive. 20, you were there meeting some of the leaders as well. Professor Schwab, what do you make of the result? Finally, they put something as a statement, and it seems quite positive with all the voices included.
I think it's positive. It's already positive through the fact that everybody agreed about the statement, which we haven't had the last years. Now the base has been formed, but we have to go one step further. We have to have a strategic mood. We have to construct the world of tomorrow. It's a systemic transformation of the world. So
you hear that? So it's a systemic transformation of the world. They have to construct the world of tomorrow. That's why they titled this whole thing since the lockdowns, the Great Reset. You see? So what are they trying to reset? They're trying to reset the way of the world, how people interact with the world, as he said, right? The fourth industrial revolution will not only change the way, will not only change society, it will change you, right? It will change how you interact in society. There's another video that he said about, in the future, which once again, the future is now, that you won't have any privacy, right? It will be completely transparent. Everything will be completely transparent. And who has that ability to have everything completely transparent? All right, that's a power. And who has that power? The Most High, right? The scriptures tells you that the Lord trieth the reins of the hearts. He knows your inward thoughts, right? And that's what this devil is ultimately trying to do through technology. He is trying to be able to know what you're doing before you even do it, what you're thinking before you're even thinking it, right? Where you're going, where you've been, everything. You see? And he is trying to accomplish that through technology and using China as the model for that, because that's what they're doing over there in China. All right, through that surveillance social credit score tracking system.
We have to define how the world should look like, which we want to come out of this transformation period. I respect China's achievements, which are tremendous over the last over 40 years. I think it's a role model for many countries, but I think also we should leave it to each country to make its own decision what system it wants to adopt. And I think we should be very careful in imposing systems. But the Chinese model is certainly a very attractive model for quite a number of countries.
So there you go. He said that the Chinese model is a very attractive model for a number of countries. And the fact is that society, because of how everything is going down, right? Especially once again here in Babylon the Great, with all of these uproars and all of these, they're letting, migrants, and not just here, even in America, but they're letting that happen over in Europe as well. Letting, all of these undocumented, that's what they call them, right? Undocumented migrants into this place. And they're doing, committing crimes and doing things, and they're not accounted for. That's a problem that they already have a solution for, right? And that's why we always, speak about the problem, reaction, solution model that Esau Edom uses, right? They even, I was listening, I forgot where I was reading it, but talking about the CBDCs, right? They were saying how the financial system doesn't actually need central bank digital currencies. They were saying that that's a solution for a problem that the global financial world doesn't have yet. Okay. And that is why they're trying to create this problem so they can bring in a solution. But going back to Moab, you see how these elites, right, these NGOs, because the elites of this world, which is mostly Amalek, right? Amalek doesn't need, right? No, Babylon the Great isn't Amalek's like end all be all, right? You go, all the way back to the early stages of America. The small hats, the Amalekites, right? They only used they used Babylon the Great for their advantage. That's why the central banks, the U.S. Reserve Central Bank, is a privately owned corporation. It's not controlled by the United States. All right, central bankers are not does not have allegiance to countries. That's why Mayor Amschel Bauer said, "Give me control of a nation's money. I care not who make the laws." Because in Esau's world, money is above the law. And who controls the money? Amalek, which is of the house of Esau Edom, right? But they, they operate, on a separate, as a separate, how do I say, like I said, like the all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid. The pyramid is supposed to be everybody else, and they're on top of, everybody else, including other Edomites, including other Edomite countries. Okay, so they could use China, right? And China will be willing to use it, and that's why when you hear about like geoeconomics, you always often hear China and America going at it when it comes to economies, right? Because in China's mind, they will be able to usurp America as being the top economy of the world. But ultimately, they will never, they're not looking to be the ones who rule the world, because that is, they will never be able to get to the elites status. They're just the top people underneath the elites. Right now, you have America as the top country, underneath, that the elites use, right? But China is trying to take that position from America. So when I was just like I said, through the spirit, I was just reading here in the book of Amos, the 2nd chapter, and it says, verse 1, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he burnt the bones of the king of Edom into lime. It says, but I will send a fire upon Moab, and it shall devour the palaces of Kerioth, and Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting, and with the sound of a trumpet. So when you go here and you just type in, no, not type in, but you click on that, it gives a little, notes. So I'm going to read this. It says, the Moabites have descended from an incestuous relationship between Lot and his older daughter. Okay, you should know about that story. Balak, the king of Moab, had tried to hire the pagan prophet Balaam to curse the Israelites so they could defeat them in battle. Numbers 22 through 24. All right, chapter 22 through 24. But instead of cursing them, Balaam could only speak the Lord's word of blessing. Later, however, some of the Moabites succeeded in getting Israel to worship Baal. And that is one of the reasons why the Lord is going to bring judgment upon Moab, right? Because they taught Israel to commit iniquity against the Heavenly Father, right? And they also partake in the destruction of Israel, right? Which the scriptures tells us in the book of First Maccabees, what nation didn't have a part in our downfall. And that's why when Yahushua comes back, he's going to subject all these nations in, underneath him. There's not going to be a heathen nation that is going to be free of the wrath and the vengeance of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay? And that all includes Moab, and that includes Elam, that includes Ishmael. It's just that Esau, Edom, is never going to receive mercy. These other nations, after serving a hardcore bondage, right, underneath Yahushua in the house of David, the 144,000 prophets, right? After that 1,000-year period where they get righteousness beat into them with that rod of iron, they're going to receive, mercy, right? They're going to be able to live in the kingdom of heaven, but they're not going to have power in the kingdom of heaven. They're not going to have authority. They're not going to have position that they have right now in the world, right? That's why 2nd Esdras, the 8th chapter, the angel told Esdras that this world was created for many, but the world to come for few, which that few is only the elect of Israel. The world to come, which is going to be on earth, is only for Israel to dominate and rule. All right, but reading on here, it says, succeeded in getting Israel to worship Baal, which led to God's punishment of his people. And that's also why the Lord said in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, that all the curses that fell upon us are going to fall upon our enemies. The Moabites were known for their atrocities. An archaeological artifact, the Moabite stone, if you don't know what that is, I suggest look it up. It's something, in secular history that links up to the Bible. It says, reveals that Moab was always quick to profit from the downfall of others. And that is a key point. All right. They were quick to profit from the downfall of others. Now, what is happening right now? Esau, Edom, his kingdom is in a downfall, right? Babylon the Great, America is, economy is circling the drain, right? The people here are ready to uproar against the government, right? Living conditions and standards are at an all-time low. So the world right? Everybody in this world sees that the hegemonic power of Esau Edom is at its end, especially specifically Babylon the Great. And now everybody else, these other nations, are trying to survive, fight, right, for that position of being the next top country, next top, superpower country. And that is why you see Esau Edom. I mean, Salaki. That's why you see China, as Klaus Schwab said, the success it has had in the last 40 years, how quickly they have built up their economy, right? How their military has been built up, all right? How they have been in global trading, how everybody in the world is wants to work with them because they're taking advantage of the downfall of Babylon the Great. And this also shows you this, spiritually, if you have ears to hear, this also shows you how the modern day Chinese people are the Moabites. All right, because who else is taking advantage? Who else is gaining the advantage of Babylon the Great's, geopolitical and geoeconomical turmoil? What country is gaining the most out of this? It's China, right? They joined the BRICS. All right, other countries are trying to do deals with them in their yuan, right? Trying to move away from the petrodollar and trying, moving, getting more accustomed to using the yuan for trading oil. So countries around the world are shifting their policies from de-dollarization, moving from the US dollar towards using China, right? And their economy, which is, their money, which is only going to booster up their economy. So as it says here, they are all reveals that Moab was always quick to profit from the downfall of others. And that is why they are so fast tracked on this new digital ID surveillance tracking system, because they know that this is going to be the new way of life. So let's get this on and popping in our country now. Klaus Schwab says, he commends them for that because, like I said, the elites, they don't care which country, right? And we know that, of course, China isn't going to get that top spot, right? Babylon, the beast, is going to introduce this charagma as prophecy, it says, right? And it's going to be something that is global, which we're already seeing various different countries outside of the beast that is pushing this, because ultimately it's the elites that is pushing this this system, right? But because America and the beast, which is the NATO EU countries, is still in the position of power, that is where once it is being pushed in those countries, that's when Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai back to take down this devil, right? And he's not taking him down so China can get on top. Because as it says in 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, that Esau is the end of the world. Okay? You Moabites, you Chinese, they're not going to receive the position of the top country or the top nation next. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right? So let me get this here in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, because once again, them doing this is also going to lead to their destruction as well, right? It's going to lead to them being punished by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 2nd Esdras chapter 16. Oh, let's see where I start at. Verse 46, it says, "And thou, Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretched, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, and they that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee." You see that all these other countries are trying to get in league with China now. But what is China really doing? China really is just mimicking America, right? You go and see the cultures that China is you know the is producing. it's it's a replica of Babylon the Great, just in a Chinese fashion. Okay, they got their cities are built like the cities in America. They got skyscrapers, right? They got fast food restaurants, McDonald's. They even are mimicking the music culture over there in China. You see, even the way that they conduct business, they're wearing their officials and their leaders. They wear suits and ties, right? China is the #1 country in the world that got the most English speaking people. Why is that? So they are partaking in decking themselves, right? Or should I say they're partaking in the hope of Babylon and decking themselves in the whoredoms like Babylon the Great has done. It says, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions, saith the Most High. Okay? All of this technology and the way that they're using the technology for trying to be omnipresent, right? Trying to have the power that only the Most High has. They're doing the same thing. That's why you have the Chinese president is a member of the WEF. That's why Klaus Schwab had that interview and said those things about China, because they're following Esau, Edom, in everything that is hated in the works and in inventions. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And you're seeing the Lord doing that, sending plagues over there, earthquakes, floods, things of that nature. And it's, once again, these are only just the beginning of sorrows. It says, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that thy mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. Yeah, the Lord's going to, hey, when Yahushua, returns, okay, and even before that, when this World War III pops off, China's going to get involved, right? And this war is going to knock back countries, to the metaphorical Stone Ages, man. Because remember, all these countries, their power is in technology. If you knock out the technology of these countries, everybody is just back to ground zero. A good movie that shows that is Transcendence with Johnny Depp. Once the power grid went down, people were just back to square one. All right, everybody is so accustomed to technology, is so integrated in everybody's way of life that if you take technology out, everybody would wouldn't know how to function. People wouldn't know how to function. The economies of the world will be completely decimated. And that's what Yahushua is going to do. Because as it says in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, all of the works, all right, in the earth are going to be burnt up. All right. It's not going to be no Edomite, no, this technology that we have now in the kingdom. Nah, you're going back to farming, agriculture, because that's how ultimately the earth is going to be refreshed. All right. The whole entire earth needs a Sabbath, man, from these devils and how they've just destroyed it. In these heathens that have partaken, in it with this devil. Okay, it says, I would I with jealousy have proceeded against thee, saith the Lord, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen Israel, exalted the stroke of thine hand, and sang over their dead when thou was drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be and you even see that now, how these Moabites look down upon Jake, man. Okay? They show you it in a movie, Hurry Up and Buy. Okay? They make fun, all right, of our skin complexion, which, you know, we got and that's how you know this devil them just deceived the whole nation, or the whole earth, man. Okay? Because the way we look is the way that actually benefits you as a human. Okay, the pale skin does not benefit you as a human being, man. But you know, that's neither here nor there. It says, the reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom, therefore thou shalt receive thy recompense. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. Okay, and it just goes basically into the judgment that the Lord is going to put upon, you know, Moab. All right. So, and overall, this is why that's going to happen, because they're partaking, you know, with Esau, Edom, in this wickedness that these elites are, you know, perpetrating and trying to implement into this world. All right. And once again, the elites are not, you know, they don't have allegiance to Babylon or Great America. All right. America is just a pawn for the elites. Okay. And that's why they have the World Economic Forum. And that's why they speak, you know, the way they do, because they're using all of these countries. All right. But ultimately, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai sees all this. And as it says, and I'll get it here and I'll close out with that. Psalms 31, Salakia, Psalms 37, verse, where is it? Psalms 37, verse 32, the wicked watcheth for the righteous and seeketh to slay him. The Lord, Salakia, that's not it. Here we go. Verse 12. It says, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Okay? And his day is coming, man. Starting with you devils, you Edomites, and the rest of these nations that have joined hand in hand with you. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to recompense. Okay? And he is going to, as Yahushai said, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. All right, so yeah, you know, with that, Lord willing, is edifying unto the elect, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Shalom.